is Bob Murphy with Ralph Kiner and Lindsey Nelson. Game 2 of the three-game series between the Mets and the Padres. The Mets winning last night 4-0 on a 5-hit shutout by right-hander Hank Webb. The umpires, and it's Tom Gorman's umpiring crew, at home plate now to exchange the batting order slip. And again tonight we have just a beautiful evening in San Diego. The starting pitchers for tonight's game for the New York Mets, the visiting team. He will be right-hander Randy Tate, and for San Diego, a right-hander, Dave Frieslevin. We'll have the starting lineups for you in a moment. We'll be right back after this message.
Have you tried on a pair of Bright Slacks lately? Have you ever tried on a pair? Have you ever heard of Bright Slacks? Well, listen carefully, because Bright Slacks are great. And it's time you found out how great. Find out about the fabulous feel, the fantastic fit, the colors, the styles. Well, it's time, all right, so you do it today. At the Sir William Squire Shop, 32 West Main in Johnstown. Bright Slacks at the Sir William Squire Shop, 32 West Main in Johnstown.
Pork chops, double on the gravy.
Hey, Patterson, more forks. Pronto. Clean forks coming up.
Paging Dr. Patterson to emergency.
Dr. Patterson, the patient has a severe scalp laceration.
All right, get me the sutures. William Patterson was a dishwasher. Now he's a doctor. The United Negro College Fund has helped many black students change the course of their lives. Please support the United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. A public service message of this station and the Advertising Council.
The starting lineups and batting orders for the game this evening. Let's check in with Ralph Kiner. All right, Bob Murphy, and for the Mets, it'll be Del Unser leading off and playing center field. Batting second, the second baseman, Felix Mion. Batting third and playing left field, Mike Vail. Batting fourth, the right fielder, Rusty Staub. Batting fifth, playing first base, Dave Kingman. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Wayne Garrett. Batting seventh and catching, Jerry Grody. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Mike Phillips. And Randy Tate, the pitcher, batting ninth. For the Padres, Enzo Hernandez will lead off. He'll be at short. Batting second, the second baseman, Tito Fuentes. Batting third, the center fielder, John Grubb. Batting fourth, playing first base, Willie McCovey. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Dave Winfield. Batting sixth and playing left field, Bobby Tolan. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Dave Roberts. The eighth batter will be the catcher, Bob Davis. And Dave Frieslevin, the pitcher, batting ninth. And now from San Diego, California, our national anthem.
Let's all enjoy our national anthem.
San Diego, California. The umpires for the game tonight, Tom Gorman behind home plate. Lee Wire, the umpire at first. Dave Davison, the umpire at second. And Frank Foley, the umpire at third. Pittsburgh has defeated Atlanta by a score of 8-2. The winning pitcher was Demery. His record now 7-3. First 8 Pirate batters hit safely in the ball game, and they scored 6 runs in the first inning. Easterly was the starting pitcher and losing pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. Pittsburgh now has won 7 of their last 8 ball games, and the Mets will have to win here tonight to remain 6 games back. Going to the bottom of the 12th inning, the Cardinals all tied up with Houston. Score of that ball game at 9-9. Houston at 1 point in the ball game, leading by a large score. They were leading by a score of 6-1. and added 2 more to make it 8-1 when St. Louis scored 6 runs in the 7th inning to get back in the ball game. Houston got another run in the 8th inning, and then the Cardinals tied it up with 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. That ball game in the bottom of the 12th, the Cardinals tied up with Houston. Sosa pitching for Houston now. He came in the game in the 9th inning. Grabowski also came in the ball game in the 9th inning. He is still in for the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals have a twilight doubleheader due to the fact that they ended up in a tie on a rain delay in the ball game last night. Philadelphia is scheduled against the Dodgers. Phillies are 3 games back of Pittsburgh at the start of the action. So with Pittsburgh winning, they are now 3.5. The Cardinals are 4.5, and the Mets are 6.5. Montreal is scheduled against San Francisco. Cincinnati defeated the Cubs by a score of 6-5. Eastwick, the winning pitcher in relief, his record now 3-2. Stone, the loser, his record 11-7. In the American League at the end of 6 at Shea Stadium, it's the Yankees 3, Oakland 1. Hunter pitching for the Yankees. Lindblad replacing Sonny Siebert for Oakland. And California leading Boston by a large score, a score of 8-2 at the end of 7 1/2 innings. Now we're all set to go here at San Diego Stadium, and coming in for the play-by-play, Bob Murphy. Thank you very much, Ralph, and hi, everybody. Del Unser leading off against Dave Frieslevin. Right-hander Dave Frieslevin, just 23 years old, a Texan, has won 5 and lost 13. After pitching very well for the Padres last year, the year has been disappointing for him. And a foul ball back under our broadcasting booth. Strike 1. Dave Frieslevin with San Diego last year won 9 and lost 14. He had been 2-1 at Hawaii when he was called up. Young right-hander Dave Frieslevin missing 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's 4-0 in the opener of the series last night. Hank Webb getting his first major league shutout. It was a very impressive shutout. Now the pitch is over, a strike call. Webb did not walk a single batter. Frieslevin into his windup. The pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3. Curveball strikes out Del Unser. Rookie Mike Vail had 4 for 4 and a walk in last night's game, so Roy McMillan keeps him in the lineup against the right-hander. Felix Millan batting second. Mike Vail is hitting third. Dave Frieslevin looking around now to check the defense. The infield is straight away, and the outfield straight away against Millan. Fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes. Felix hitting .295, the club leader in base hits, 158. Millan takes a breaking ball low, ball 2. Defensively, the Padres have Willie McCovey at first, Tito Fuentes at second, Enzo Hernandez at short, and Dave Roberts at third. Now it's high inside, ball 3, 3-0. Bobby Tolan is the left fielder, Johnny Grubb in center, and Dave Winfield in right. Bob Davis the catcher. Ball 4, Millan walks on 4 pitches. And it will bring up 23-year-old outfielder Mike Vail. The Mets acquired Mike Vail in a trade last winter that sent Teddy Martinez to St. Louis. The Mets got Jack Heidemann and Mike Vail, and it may turn out to be a super sensational trade. This young man has been most impressive. And the pitch by Frieslevin is in, strike 1 call. Eddie Brasseau, who played with the New York Mets in 1966, now the baseball coach at De Anza College near San Jose. Here's the pitch on the way, a swing and a miss and a high hard one. And after coming out of high school, Mike Vail played for Ed Brasseau. In college, he was a shortstop. His first year in pro ball, a third baseman. The 2-strike delivery, and he checked his swing, the breaking ball outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mike says, I guess they put me in the outfield because I made too many errors at third base. Now the 1-2 delivery, and a ground ball into short. Should be a double play. Fuentes on to McCovey, double play. Hernandez to Fuentes to McCovey. So a low line drive taken on 1 hop, easily turned into a double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. In the middle of the first inning, it's the Mets nothing, and the Padres coming to bat.
So the economy is getting...
Folks, I'm about to tell you something about cottage cheese. You thought you knew everything there was to know about cottage cheese? Well, could be. But if you don't know about Dairy Lee Fruit Top Cottage Cheese, you're missing something very big. That's right. Fresh, delicious Dairy Lee Cottage Cheese. Guaranteed fresh. And now topped with strawberry, raspberry, pineapple, or blueberry. Dairy Lee Fruit Top Cottage Cheese comes in a single-serving container that couldn't be handier. Just the right size for a lunch or a snack or a dessert. Perfect to take along anywhere you go, like to a ball game. What you do is, you take your spoon and dig in and let that rich fruit topping swirl down into the creamy cottage cheese. And you have yourself one great taste treat. Now, is that cottage cheese news or is that cottage cheese news? Fruit Top Cottage Cheese in 4 beautiful flavors, guaranteed fresh from who else but Dairy Lee.
In the first game of the doubleheader in St. Louis this evening, the Cardinals won it, getting a run in the last of the 12th inning to win 10-9. The Astros had 20 hits in the game, and they lost it. Al Raboski came on in the ninth, that is the winning pitcher. Raboski is now 11-3, and I believe has 18 saves. Jose Sosa was the loser. Enzo Hernandez leading off against Randy Tate. The wind-up in the pitch by Randy. He missed inside, ball 1. Crucial ball game for Randy Tate. He has such great stuff, but has had to fight a lack of control throughout the year. The 1-0 delivery, low, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Last night, Cliff Johnson had homered at the top of the 11th inning, and Houston had gone ahead of the Cardinals 4-3. Then with 2 outs in the last of the 11th inning, it rained so hard they had to hold up. They waited 2 hours, 15 minutes, and stopped it. Inside, ball 3. That meant the score had to revert back to the last completed inning, the 10th, and so the game had to be replayed as the first game of a doubleheader tonight in St. Louis. And Cliff Johnson lost the home run. He hit on the top of the 11th. Ball 4. And Tate quickly walks Hernandez on 4 pitches. Johnson had homered in 6 consecutive ball games, counting the one he hit last night, and then lost. He did not hit one in the first game in St. Louis tonight, so the streak came to an end, 5 officially. Tito Fuentes stepping in now. Randy Tate has walked Hernandez on 4 pitches. Now the young right-hander from Killen, Alabama, from the stretch delivers inside and low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. This year, in 120 innings, Randy has walked 72 hitters. He's allowed only 108 hits. He's had major league stuff, but not major league control. Here's the pitch on the way. A strike called in the outside corner. He has such good stuff that anytime he doesn't give up over 3 or 4 walks, he has a great chance to win. But many times he has walked more. The 1-1 delivery. Swing and a miss by Tito Fuentes. He went for a curveball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 2 of the teams, the Messer Chasing and the Padres, have already won tonight. The Pirates defeated Atlanta 8-2. They had an easy one. They scored 6 runs in the first. And the Cardinals had to go 12 innings to beat Houston 10-9. St. Louis used 4 pitchers: Ron Reed, Harry Parker, Mike Garman, and Al Raboski. And remember, that's the first game of a doubleheader. So the second game will start probably about 9:45 p.m. St. Louis time. The 1-2 delivery missed inside and low. It is 2-2. The Phillies are at Dodger Stadium. Montreal playing a night game at San Francisco. In a day game, the Reds defeated Chicago 6-5. Raleigh Eastwick won it in relief of Billingham. Steve Stone, the loser. Now a throw to first, not in time. The Yankees and Catfish lead Oakland 3-1, last of the 7th at Shea. Now the pitch by Randy Tate breaks low. And Tate goes 3-2 on Tito Fuentes. California Angels well out in front of the Red Sox 8-2, last of the 9th up in Boston. Chicago at Cleveland rained out. Minnesota won, Milwaukee nothing in the 4th. Kansas City tripped Baltimore 4-3 in the first game of a doubleheader. Throw to first, not in time. Palmer missing out on his bid to become the first 20-game winner. And it's Detroit 2, Texas nothing in the fourth. Vern Rule and Gaylord Perry. Now let's keep an eye on Enzo Hernandez and see if he is running. There he goes. The pitch fouled off. Down the left field line and over into the crowd. Hernandez has been quite efficient at stealing bases. He has been successful 14 out of 17. Dave Winfield leads the Padres in stolen bases with 17. 17 of 19 for Dave Winfield. Now Randy Tate in the set position throws to first base. And the ball gets loose but does not roll very far away. So holding at first base, Enzo Hernandez. Two pitchers who have struggled are in the game tonight. Dave Frieslevin and Randy Tate. There goes the runner. The pitch fouled off, no play. Randy Tate is 4-12 on the year, and Dave Frieslevin is 5-13. Tomorrow night it will be Tom Seaver bidding for his 19th. Dan Spillner will provide the opposition. Seaver has a lifetime record against San Diego of 17 wins and 1 loss. There goes the runner, the pitch, and a base hit for the opposite field. Taken on a hop by Mike Vail. Runners at first and second. So Fuentes a single to left on 3-2. Now the Padres have runners on first and second. Nobody out, and the batter is Johnny Grubb, the center fielder. Grubb hitting .274, left-hand hitter. Willie McCovey on deck, and then Dave Winfield. So we'll see if John McNamara has his number 3 hitter bunt or swing away. You usually put your most consistent hitter in the number 3 spot in the batting order. Here's the pitch. He's around to bunt. Takes the strike on the inside corner. First inning has been a problem all year long for Randy Tate. Usually if he gets by the first 2 innings, he pitches you a very good ball game. And a pickoff play at second, not in time. Randy stepping off, whirling and throwing to Mike Phillips. Randy Tate getting his sign from Grody. Now the pitch to Grubb. He's around to bunt, bunts, and it's a foul ball, no play. And now a 2-strike count on Johnny Grubb. And let's see if John McNamara, the skipper of the Padres, removes the bunt or leaves it on. Grubb has struck out 46 times this year, so he is not what you call an easy man to strike out. Lead from first and second. The pitch by Randy Tate is low. He was going to swing away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Beautiful evening in San Diego. The skies were clear throughout the day, and they are clear now. The infield at double play depth. And the pitch on the way, lined foul down the left field line. No play. He hit that one late. It was not close to the line. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tito Fuentes fouled off 3 and then got a base hit on 3-2. Jim Davenport coaching third. Dick Sisler at first. High inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now Randy Tate goes to the Rosenbach, and the San Diego crowd starts the rhythmic clapping. Good turnout tonight at San Diego Stadium, and with the crowd here this evening, they'll set their all-time home attendance record. The 2-2 pitch, and a pop fly into short left. Back goes Phillips. They invoke the infield fly ruling. Mike makes the catch. So Randy Tate jammed Johnny Grubb, and he gets him out.
Hitting fourth.
Willie McCovey.
24.
McCovey hitting .242. San Diego leader in home runs with 14, and he has 42 runs batted in. Second on the club in RBIs. Dave Winfield is the club leader. McCovey had 1 hit, a single to right in the game last night. Randy Tate checking things out. Kicks the leg. Around comes the arm. Wild pitch. Runners will move to second and third. Hernandez goes to third and Fuentes to second. Mets lose their chance for a double play. They're charging that a pass ball instead of a wild pitch. Pitch was low and inside into the feet of the hitter, Willie McCovey. Padres with two in scoring position. Now Tate will go to the full windup for the extra leverage. And the pitch. High, inside, ball two. So again, Randy is working behind the hitter. Jerry Grody providing the target. The 2-0 delivery. High, outside, ball three. A walk to McCovey would load the bases and bring up the Padres' most productive hitter, Dave Winfield. Let's see if they give McCovey a green light here on 3-0. They might. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, hit the second base. Tate will have to hurry over to cover. A run will score. 2 men away, and a run is in. The Padres lead, 1-0. McCovey hit 3-0. It was a slow roller. Kingman went for the ball, could not get back to the bag. Millan fielded the ball, and then threw to Randy Tate covering.
The right fielder, number 31.
RBI for McCovey. Fuentes goes to third, and the hitter is Dave Winfield. So on the 3-0 delivery, Tate had good stuff. He jammed the batter, McCovey. With a slow roller, produces a run, and San Diego leads 1-0. Now Dave Winfield is batting. He's hitting .276. The club RBI leader was 70. Inside, ball one. He jumps away. And the pitch by Randy Tate. A swing and a foul coming straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Randy Tate has 30 strikeouts in his last 25 innings. He has the seasonal high by Met pitcher 13. And a ground bouncing ball hit the shortstop. Phillips grabs it, throws. Close play, he's out. And the side retired with 1 run in. Good play by Phillips. He had to hurry the throw on a high bouncer. 1 run, 1 hit. No errors and 1 left. At the end of 1, the score, San Diego 1 and New York nothing.
It's another giant frozen fruit and vegetable sale from Agway. Great fruit and vegetables ready for home processing. Choose some values like these. Onion-flavored potato puffs, 12 boxes, 1.5 pounds each, $7.80. Orange juice concentrate, 24 12-ounce cans, $12.40. Grape juice concentrate, 24 12-ounce cans, $14.20. Lemon concentrate, 24 12-ounce cans, only $9.80. Remember, none will be sold without advance order. So order by Monday, August 18th. Order today. Orders must be picked up at Agway Friday, September 5th between 9 and 5. All orders subject to availability at time of pickup. The giant frozen fruit and vegetable sale at Agway on the Johnstown Arterial.
You could start building your tomorrows today. You join the people who join the Army. La, 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 la,
New York trailing by a run. Rusty Staub will lead off against Dave Frieslevin in the second. The run will be scored unearned as the result of the pass ball charged to Jerry Grody. Rusty Staub drove in 2 runs, the third and fourth in the 4-0 win last night. Rusty raised his RBI total to 87. Here are the warm-ups for the second game in St. Louis. Doug Knesny, a young right-hander, recently off the disabled list, will pitch for Houston. And a rookie, Harry Rasmussen, will be on for the Cardinals. And a ground ball bounced to second. Handled by Tito Fuentes over to McCovey. Stabbed out on 1 pitch. The Pirates have won. The Cardinals have won their first game. In the American League, the Yankees lead Oakland 7-1 in the last of the 8th. California beat Boston 8-2. Kansas City beat Baltimore 4-3 in the first game of a doubleheader. The Royals have a chance to gain a game and a half here this evening if they can sweep the Baltimore Orioles. Dave Kingman, the batter. Inside, ball 1. Dave hit the ball hard all night against the Padres last evening. Breaking ball outside and low. Ball 2-0. Kingman wound up with 1 hit and 5 times at bat. And a grounder that is foul up the third base line, no play. Kingman doubled his first time at bat. In the first inning, he hit a ball all the way to the wall in center that was caught. Hit another ball to the fence that was caught in the 7th inning. So Dave hit the ball hard, but got only 1 for 5 out of it. Right-hander Dave Frieslevin pitching for San Diego. He has won 5, lost 13 with a 4.0 ERA. High inside. In 161 innings, Frieslevin has allowed 181 hits. And a grounder that is whacked foul over the head of Eddie Yost, coaching third and on down the line. 3-2 on Sky King. Wayne Garrett on deck, and then Jerry Grody. Outside, ball 4. Kingman works out a walk. That is the second walk by Frieslevin, and Garrett will be hitting. Wayne batting .267. Wayne has 6 home runs and 32 runs batted in. 1 out and 1 on, top of the second inning. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball, a strike called in the outside corner. Tom Gorman umpiring the plate tonight. Lee Wire, Dave Davidson, and Frank Pulley are the men in blue on the bases. Wide, Garrett lays off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Willie McCovey holding against Dave Kingman. A couple of former Giant teammates. And a ground ball knocked down by McCovey. He steps on first. Garrett is out. Kingman goes over to second. McCovey lost his shot at a double play. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is Ed Kramer of the New York Mets. Through every inning of every Mets game, home and away on WIZR FM 105. You're home for the Mets and Colonials in 1975.
Bob Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kiner were in the top of the second in San Diego, and the Padres lead 1-0. Dave Kingman is on second and 2 away, and Jerry Grody the batter. Jerry now is hitting over 300. Inside and low, it's ball 1. Grody hitting at .301. Jerry had 2 for 4 last night, a single and a run-scoring triple. He had the game-winning RBI by driving in the very first run of the ballgame. The 1-0 delivery. Strike called. A curve by Frieslevin on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Eddie Yost coaching third. Bud Harrelson coaching first. The 1-1 delivery. Outside and low. It's ball 2, 2-1. Frieslevin checks Kingman leading off second base. In comes the pitch to Grody and a ground ball to second. Bobble for a moment by Fuentes, but he throws to first in time for the out. And the side retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on. An inning and a half gone in San Diego. The Padres won, the Mets nothing.
You can save money. That's right, I said you can save money by making sure your home is insulated properly. To find out just how much money you can save on your heating bills, stop in at Holden Lumber. Dick Sutliff and his staff will be glad to take the time to show you just how much you can save. Holden Lumber also has aluminum combination storm windows and doors. For everything, inside, outside, all around the home, see Holden Lumber, Carpenter Street, Gloversville.
This is Dick Van Dyke. We're talking about some ways to prevent fires and burns.
If you got junk in your basement, clean it up, get it outside the door. Don't put wires under rugs.
See, when people walk on the rug, they're walking on the wire till it breaks.
And your house could burn down. Some people plug a million plugs together. That can make a fire, too.
Remember these things, okay? We want you to learn not to burn.
And you know what? Don't let anyone smoke in bed.
Bobby told us Fuhren faces Randy Tate in the last half of the second inning. The veteran Bobby Tolan hitting at 247. For San Diego, it's Bobby Tolan, Dave Roberts, and Bob Davis to hit in the last of the second. Randy Tate issued one walk. That was the leadoff batter, Enzo Hernandez. And Hernandez later scored as the result of a base hit, a pass ball, and a ground out. San Diego leading by that margin, 1-0. Now Randy Tate has his sign, and the pitch to Bobby Tolan. Runs inside, a fastball, 1 ball, and no strikes. Tolan wanting to get a look at Randy Tate, and he was taking all the way on the first pitch. Wayne Garrett playing in, even with the bag and wide of the line at third. That's a strike call to the knees, 1 ball, 1 strike. Mike Phillips shaded over towards second against the left-hand hitter. Bobby Tolan no longer runs with that great speed, but he still has good speed. And a foul ball to the left, no play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tate into his windup. The pitch to Bobby Tolan. He bunts the ball up the third base line. It will roll fair. It is a base hit. Tolan surprised everybody, bunting with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Garrett knew he could not throw Tolan out. Let the ball roll, but it stayed fair. So Bobby Tolan pulls that one off. With a count of 1 and 2, he caught everybody in the stadium flat-footed.
Number 20, Dave Roberts.
The hitter is Dave Roberts, batting .235. Until very recently, Roberts had been playing at Hawaii in the Pacific Coast League. 2 years ago, he made a big splash in the National League, hitting 21 home runs. Kind of lost himself, and he's been trying to get it put back together. Let's have the infield straight away, looking for a double play. And the pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 1. Bob Davis, the backstop, is the on-deck hitter. Dave Kingman holding against Bobby Tolan. Tolan has stolen 7 bases this year, 7 out of 11. Now the pitch on the way. Missed the inside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Randy Tate up in pitching position, turns and throws to first, not in time. Very important ball game with the New York Mets. Pirates have already won their game tonight. The 1-1 delivery, a little bit wide, ball 2, 2-1. Cardinals playing a doubleheader after being rained out in the 11th inning last night. And they have won the first ball game, and at one point in that ball game, they were behind 8-1. Finally tied the game at 9-all and won it 10-9. There goes the runner, swing and a miss, picked by Jerry Grody, and the ball gets loose from Mian, rolls into short center. The throw was there in time. They would have had him. But it did not stay in Mian Smith. It squirted out of his glove and rolled into short center field. So Bobby Tolan gets a stolen base. Grody made a beautiful throw that was there in plenty of time, and they would have had him. Count is 2-2 on Dave Roberts. Now the pitch by Randy Tate. Strike 3 call. Grody bluffs the throw to second. So Tate has his first strikeout of the game. The hitter coming up will be Bob Davis. Davis hitting .206. He's been in only 21 ball games. Freddie Kendall has done most of the San Diego catching this year, along with the veteran Randy Hundley. Kendall has been in 87 games, and Randy Hundley is 68. Catching is one position the Padres feel they must shore up before they can be a contender. And a high foul pop coming back into the crowd and out of play. Padres felt they were going to be all set at third base for a long time to come when Dave Roberts first joined them off the University of Oregon campus, and the following year whacked 21 home runs. But then he suddenly saw his talents diminish. And a high pop fly down the right field line. Dave Kingman goes down the line, and misjudges the ball and doesn't catch it. Kingman thought he was under it, and at the last moment realized he wasn't. And the ball hit the ground in foul territory. So the defensive play here in the first two innings has not been sharp for New York. No error scored on the play. Kingman simply had it misjudged, never touched it. It was not an easy play. It was way down the line, almost to the bullpen. But over in foul territory, so far with a right-hand hitter up, the staff could not get to it. A two-strike count on Bob Davis. And Randy Tate in pitching position. Keeps an eye on the runner, Bobby Tolan at second. Now he steps off, throws. Not in time. Felix Millan cut in to took the throw. Now Bob Davis calls time and gets out of the batter's box. Bobby Tolan beat out a bunt for a base hit. Take-off play, throw to second, safe, close. Bobby Tolan sliding in head first. Millan and Phillips working on Bobby Tolan. Randy Tate has a real good move on that pickoff play at second base. And this time Millan runs him back. Crowd reacting. They're getting quite a kick out of it as Millan and Phillips work on Bobby Tolan. The crowd, of course, encouraging Bobby Tolan. Now Tate in the set position. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He took him out with a high hardwood. Second strikeout in a row for Randy Tate. It brings up the pitcher, Dave Frieslevin.
Number 14, Dave Frieslevin.
Frieslevin, 4 hits in 46 times at bat. He's very stocky. 5'11", 195 pounds. He'll hit right-handed. San Diego leading 1-0. We're in the second. And a fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes. For manager John McNamara of San Diego, Jim Davenport, former Giant third baseman, good big league ball player, coaches at third. Dick Sisler on the lines at first. In there for a strike call, 1-1. Enzo Hernandez, who bats leadoff, is the on-deck hitter. The 1-1 delivery, low, outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Randy Tate sizing it up. And the rookie right-hander kicks, delivers. Swing and a foul ball back. It's 2-2. Here are the warm-ups at Dodger Stadium for the Phillies. Left-hander Tom Underwood. For the Dodgers, it will be Doug Rao. Montreal at San Francisco, rookie left-hander Dan Warthen for the Expos. And rookie left-hander Pete Falcone for the Giants. Way inside, ball 3. Tate has gone 3-2 on the opposing pitcher. Tomorrow night, the last game of this series, Tom Seaver and Dan Spillner are the pitchers. Seaver became the first 18-game winner. Now will try to become the first 19-game winner in the league. 3-2 delivery. Ball 4. Tate has walked the opposing pitcher. Second walk by Randy Tate. Now leadoff batter Enzo Hernandez will be coming up.
The shortstop, number 11, Enzo.
Hernandez, a tough target at the plate. He's just 5'8". And he worked out a walk in the first inning. Tate Tate with runners at first and second delivers. And a line drive that's a base hit going to left field. Tolan around third, heading home. The throw by Mike Vail. They may get him. The ball's waiting. He's out at the plate. Mike Vail uncorking a beautiful throw. He threw it all the way in the air. It came in knee high. Grody caught the ball, and they had Bobby Tolan out with plenty to spare. So Hernandez singled to left, but the impressive young rookie, Mike Vail, threw the ball perfectly. And Bobby Tolan is cut down at the plate. No runs. There were 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. At the end of 2, San Diego 1, New York 0.
Listen to the smooth sliding sound of a country steel guitar. See yourself on a fine summer evening doing what you please, pleasing yourself with the mellow flavor of some fine cold beer. Not just any beer, Schaefer beer. Because Schaefer's the one beer that goes all evening, still tasting like the night is young. The one beer with flavor that never fades, glass after frosty glass. Schaefer stays so smooth, so first beer fine, that every Schaefer plays like music to your thirst. Schaefer, it's the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
The rookie outfielder Mike Vail had 4 for 4 and a walk. He has made his presence known already here this evening with a perfect throw to Jerry Grody to nail Bobby Tolan. Could be a big one. Now we go to the third, and for the action, here's Ralph Kiner.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob Murphy, and hi, everyone. For the Mets, it'll be Mike Phillips to lead off. Mike batting 8th in the batting order, hitting .251.
Mike Phillips, shortstop.
Mets have not had a base hit in the ball game. They've had 2 base runners, both on walks. Meehan walked in the first, was erased on a double play, and Dave Kingman walked in the second. Phillips, a left-hand batter with 1 home run, 25 RBIs. Dave Frieslevin pitching for the San Diego Padres. And the right-hander's first pitch. It is outside a ball. This is the 26th start for Frieslevin. He has made 29 total appearances. Next delivery, a called strike, a fastball over the outside part of the plate, down around the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch back to Phillips is called a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Frieslevin has a record of 5-13. And he quickly comes back, and the pitch is hit out toward second base, backhanded by Fuentes. A good play there. The throw to first base for the out. Tito Fuentes moving quickly to his right, backhanding the ball as it was on its way toward center field and turning what looked like it might be a base hit into an out. We will bring up Randy Tate. Tate looking for his first base hit. He's been up 37 times. A right-hand batter. And the first pitch is taken low, ball 1. Frieslevin has won 14 and lost 27 in his major league career. He's had 4 complete games this year, 1 shutout. Pitch back is called a strike. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Padres leading 1-0. 1 man out. It's the top of the third. Next pitch, a hard swing and a miss, but no contact. 1-2. The record for going an entire season without a base hit. 0 for 72 by Bob Buell. There's a drive to center, but right there is Johnny Grubb, and he has it. 2 men away, and Del Unser batting for the second time. Unser will take some time getting to the plate to allow Randy Tate to get back to the bench and get a breath of air. Game number 130 for the New York Mets. This game and 32 more to go.
Center field.
Now Del Unser stepping up. He struck out his first time up. Average at .283, 7 home runs, 40 RBIs. And the right-hand pitcher working to the left-hand batter, and the first pitch is taken for a ball. St. Louis
Louis outlasted Houston 10-9. Houston losing in spite of the fact they had 20 base hits. Grabowski, the winning pitcher, his record now 11-3. Ground ball down to first is knocked down by McCovey, and now McCovey trying to reach Unter as he comes up the line to field the ball, but Unter gets by him and is on with what could be a base hit. Hard chance for McCovey. He got over to backhand it and knocked the ball down. It rolled up the line in front of the bag. McCovey went for it, got on the ground, prone on the ground to pick it up, and then tried to reach up and tag Unter as he was going by, but Unter got by him and on to first base with a base hit. Crowd didn't like to score him, but it was a difficult chance. So the Mets get their first hit of the ball game, and it brings up Felix Millan, who walked on 4 pitches his first time up. Millan batting .295, leads the club in base hits with 158. Right-hand batter. Hunter with the short lead at first base. Frieslevin checks him. Here's the pitch. And it's fouled back against the screen. It's strike one. Sosa was the losing pitcher in that Houston-St. Louis ball game. Watson had a home run, his 17th. The game went 12 innings. There was a continuance, or actually the replay of a game that was called because of rain in the 11th inning, with Houston leading by a run. The run washed out, and the game had to be replayed. They waited over 2 hours, but the rain did not stop. Here's a pitch for a strike. It's strike two. Frieslevin sets up, and his next delivery taken low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pittsburgh won their ball game against Atlanta, scoring 6 runs in the first inning. First 8 men got base hits. Next pitch grounded out toward third. Dave Roberts has it. Flips to Fuentes, covering at second for the force play. That retires the side. No runs. The Mets' first base hit. No errors. 1 left. And the score at the end of 2.5 innings, the Padres won. The New York Mets, nothing. 64 pages, a 2-page 1975 Met team picture, career records of every player, full-page color portraits of Tom Seaver, Rusty Staub, Felix Millan, and Joe Torre, all for $1. We're talking about the 1975 edition of the Mets yearbook. It's the best ever. There are great color shots of all your favorite Mets, plus action highlights, scenes of old-timers games at Shea, all-star squads, and so on. This 64-page bargain is only $1 at Shea souvenir counters, and there isn't a better buy in baseball yearbooks. Get your copy of the 1975 Met yearbook next time you visit Shea to root for the Mets. You can order by mail, too. Just enclose a check or money order for $1.25 in an envelope and address it to Met Yearbook Department, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, 11368. The 1975 Met yearbook, $1 a copy at Shea, $1.25 if you order by mail to Met Yearbook Department, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, 11368.
The second baseman, number 23, Tito Fuentes.
We're going to the bottom of the third. The Padres leading 1-0 on a run in the first. And the leadoff batter will be Tito Fuentes. Fuentes singled to left field for the first base hit of the ball game, his first time up. Tito hitting at .280. And batting left-handed against the right-hander Randy Tate, and the first pitch is a ball. Tate has given up 1 run, allowed 3 hits. He has struck out 2 and walked 2. And the pitch back is low and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Fuentes with 4 home runs, 39 RBIs, and a total of 140 base hits. 17 of them have been doubles, 3 triples. And a 2-0. The pitch taken down low, and it's ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Padres will set an all-time record for paid attendance here tonight. Paid attendance for an entire season. Now a strike call, 3-1. On deck batter, Johnny Grubb, the center fielder. Tate has the sign, and here's the pitch. Grounded right back to the middle and into center field for a base hit. Fuentes making the turn at first base and holding there as Hunter gets the ball back into the infield. So Fuentes 2 for 2. A single to left and a single to right. That will bring up Johnny Grubb.
The center fielder, number 2.
Grubb popped up to short his first time up, hitting at .274 for the year. Left-hand batter with 3 home runs, 29 RBIs. Padres leading by a score of 1-0. Garrett even with the bag at third. not really in for possible sacrifice. Here's the pitch. The runner goes. The ball is looped out into shallow right field. Back there is Meon in the outfield grass, and he has the play. And Fuentes back to first base after the catch. In the bullpen for the Mets, Skip Lockwood is starting to throw. One away. And Willie McCovey stepping up. Willie was out on the ground ball to Meon his first time up. McCovey brought a 7-game hitting streak into the ball game, hitting .385 over that period. McCovey now at .276 for the year with 13 home runs and 70 runs batted in. Make that 14 home runs. There's a ground ball down to the second base. First baseman Kingman, the throw to the second base area where it's taken by Phillips is in time, and then the return to first base to Kingman is in time for the double play. So McCovey grounding into a double play in the side retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left. The score at the end of 3. The Padres 1, the Mets nothing.
The whitest and best ready-mix concrete around is at the City Line Block Company, Gloversville. They mix the whitest concrete to make their own blocks right in their own Gloversville plant. And if you're building, this means you save money. It also means you're supporting a local business. So for all of your concrete needs, stop in at the City Line Block Company, 25 Reed Street, Gloversville. Phone 725-8529. That's the City Line Block Company, Gloversville.
A prenatal care message from the March of Dimes.
Hello, this is Bobby Bonds of the New York Yankees. We know how important the number 9 is in the game of baseball, but the number 9 also means something special to an expectant mother, because normally the mother's body serves as her baby's home for its first 9 months. Proper nutrition is especially important at this time because what the mother eats is the only nutrition the unborn baby gets. Eat well for your baby's good health. The March of Dimes says, be good to your baby before it is born.
Willie McCovey, we gave you the wrong stats on his record for the year. He has 14 home runs, 42 RBIs, and hitting at .241. He grounded into the double play, 3-6-3, to end the inning. Now the Mets coming up in the top of the 4th, and Mike Vail to lead it off. Number 31. Vail 4 for 4 last night. Grounded into a double play his first time up today. Vail hitting at .438. He's had 7 hits and 16 times up. A right-hand batter. And Frieslevin with his first pitch. It's over the outside corner, strike 1. It'll be Mike Vail, Rusty Staub, and Dave Kingman for the Mets here in their inning. Pitch back is low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Frieslevin has given up 1 base hit. A scratch hit off the glove of Willie McCovey. Now Vail trying to bunt his way on. A perfect bunt, and he'll have it all the way. Ball fielded by Roberts. No chance for a play, and Vail now coming up with a base hit on a bunt. Vail has executed wonderfully for the New York Mets since his call up from Tidewater, where he was leading the International League and hitting at a .342 pace. So a runner on, and Rusty Staub the batter. Tying run is at first base, no one out. And the first pitch to Rusty Staub is low and outside a ball. Rusty leading the club in runs batted in with 87, batting at .271. Vail, a good-sized lead at first base. Frieslevin checks him. And here's the pitch. And Staub lines at the right field, a base hit. Vail goes to second and holds there against the strong arm of Dave Winfield. So the Mets have runners at first and second with no one out. And the batter coming up is Dave Kingman. Kingman was walked on a 3-2 pitch his first time up. A bunt single by Mike Vail. A single to right field by Rusty Staub, and now Dave Kingman. Kingman leading the club in home runs with 26, has 69 RBIs. Batting at .245. Padres are not looking for a bunt, and here's the first pitch. Line down the left field line, a base hit. Vail will score the tying run. Going over to pick the ball up, the left fielder Tolan. He does a good job on that, and holds Staub at second base. That was a line shot right down the left field line. Tolan over playing Kingman as a dead pull hitter. Got to it before it could get on by to the wall, and Staub could only go to second base. For Kingman, his 70th run batted in, and the ball game tied up at 1-1. consecutive base hits, and the batter coming up now is Wayne Garrett. Wayne grounded out to first base his first time up. Action starting up in the bullpen for the San Diego Padres. Garrett hits the first pitch out to the second baseman Fuentes, and he catches it in the air. Fuentes was trying to let that ball bounce and pick it up on the short hop, but the ball carried too far. He would have had a shot at a double play if the ball had hit into the dirt. Rich Folker's now throwing in the bullpen for the San Diego Padres. Garrett the first out of the inning, and now the batter coming up, Jerry Grody. Grody grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. Grody brought a 6-game hitting streak into the game, is batting an even .300 for the year. Jerry also has hit in 12 of his last 13 ball games. And the first pitch to Grody by Frieslevin is taken at the knees, are called strike. Hits are all even at 4 apiece. The ball game tied at 1. And 1 man out here in the top of the 4th. Staub, the runner at second base. Kingman, the runner at first. The pitch back to Grody is taken outside. Breaking ball. Grody started the swing, held up in time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jerry has driven in 34 runs this year with 95 base hits. Had a 3-base hit for a run batted in last night's ball game, won by the Mets 4-0. Mets argued that the ball was touched by a spectator and should have been a home run. 1-1 pitch, and Grody takes the call strike at the knees. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Vail got it started with a bunt base hit. Staub followed with a single to right, and Kingman quickly singled down the left field line to drive in the tying run. Garrett out and a soft liner to second, and Grody now missing the pitch, and he is struck out. So Frieslevin gets his second strikeout. It brings up Mike Phillips with 2 men away. Phillips was out of the good play by Fuentes, the second baseman, his first time up. Mike batting .250 with 1 home run and 25 RBIs. Dave Frieslevin, the pitcher for the Padres, works very quickly. And his first pitch to Mike Phillips. Fouled back into the stands at strike 1. Tomorrow night it'll be Tom Seaver working for the Mets. Tom with a record of 18-7. Padres will be countering with Dan Spillner, who has won 5 and lost 10. We'll be on the air at 9:55 with that one. That will be the final game between the Mets and Padres this year. Mets have won 6 of the first 10. 1 strike pitch, and it's taken for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. On this road trip, the Mets have won 4 and lost 4, and they have this game and 1 more in San Diego and 4 in L.A. Returning home on Labor Day against the Pittsburgh Pirates, game time at 4:05. Next pitch is swung on and missed. The count 1-2. Mets have 5 games left with the Pirates. 3 at home, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of September. And then later on, 3 in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh on the 10th. 2 in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh in the 10th and the 11th. Next pitch is taken high in the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Balls, 2 strikes. Frieslevin with his next pitch. Phillips hits it on the line out into center field, and Staub will come in to score. Base hit by Mike Phillips, scoring Staub from second base, and the Mets take the lead by a score of 2-1. Moving on down to second, Dave Kingman. And Phillips picking up the run batted in. It is his 26th of the year, and we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is Ed Cranepool of the New York Mets. Hear every inning of every Mets game, home and away on WIZR FM 105. You're home for the Mets and Colonials in 1975.
Ralph Kiner along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson from San Diego Stadium in San Diego, California. The Mets leading 2-1, and the batter coming up, Randy Tate. That base hit by Phillips was actually deflected by the shortstop Hernandez and rolling out into shallow center field. and just did get a piece of his glove in the ball. First pitch to Tate, a swing and a miss, strike one. Tate has not had a base hit in his major league career. He has been up 38 times. Flied out to center field his first time up. Frieslevin with his next pitch. Tate swings again. Strike two. Now the right-hander with his next pitch. And Tate is struck out on 3 pitches, a swinging strike. Frieslevin getting his third strikeout of the ball game. At the Mets in the inning taking the lead by scoring 2 runs on 4 hits. No errors and 2 men left on base. And the score at the end of 3.5 innings. The Mets 2, the Padres 1.
If you have to use your own 2 feet to get away on vacation this year, we have a suggestion at HFC. Sit down and figure out some things you can do around the house or around town. For instance, you might finish painting the woodwork, repair the roof, or add to your garden. Then head for the nearest amusement park. Go on the rides, eat too much cotton candy, and too many hot dogs. You might also think about visiting HFC for a vacation loan before you start doing anything. Because with so much to do, a little extra money always comes in handy. Ask about the stay-at-home vacation loan at Household Finance, an equal opportunity lender.
For a large or small loan, call HFC in New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut. See your phone book for the Household Finance office nearest you.
The leadoff for the Padres in the bottom half of the 4th. The Mets leading 2-1. Winfield grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. Batting at .276. 13 home runs, 70 runs batted in. On the mound, Randy Tate, and here's the pitch. Tate gets a called strike. Randy has given up 1 run on 4 hits. He has struck out 2, and he has walked 2. Came to the game with a record of 4 wins and 12 losses. Pitch back to Winfield is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Winfield will be followed by Bobby Tolan and Dave Roberts. And at 1-1, the pitch back to the plate is hit off the hand foul back into the stands back of home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Second ball game at St. Louis at the end of 1.5 innings. Houston 1, St. Louis nothing. Cardinals won the first game 10-9 with a run in the bottom of the 12th inning. In that second ball game, Kniesny pitching for Houston against Rasmussen. There's a dive to deep center field. It is over the head of Hunter, up against the wall. And going into second base with a stand-up double is Dave Winfield, and that ball hitting the wall halfway up at the 4:10 mark. Winfield his 15th double of the year. And the Padres have the tying run at second with no one out. So Winfield with a long double to center field. Hunter had no time to get back to it, played it off the wall perfectly. And Winfield in with a stand-up double. That will bring up Bobby Tolan. Tolan beat out a bunt his first time up.
The left fielder, number 28.
Left-hand batter hitting at .249. Left-hand batter. And Randy Tate with his first pitch. And it's called a ball. Tolan has hit 5 home runs this year and had 40 runs batted in. Mets have their first baseman and third baseman in case of a bunt. Now the pitch. Tolan bunts it out toward the mound. The play will have to go to first base as Tate fields the ball. He throws to Kingman at first base, and on the sacrifice, the tying run moves to third. So a runner at third and 1 away, and the batter will be the third baseman, Dave Roberts. Roberts was called out on strikes his first time up. Roberts, hitting at .222, has been up 18 times since his recall from Hawaii. Right-hand batter. The Mets are going to play their infield in. Roy McMillan, the manager of the Mets, pulling in the shortstop and second baseman as well as the first baseman and third baseman. And the first pitch swung on a miss. The curveball, strike one. Roberts was called out on strikes in a curveball his first time up. Tate has struck out two, both on curveballs. Here's the pitch back. And a line drive to left field, a base hit. Winfield comes in to score from third, and the ball game tied up at 2-2 on the run batted in by Roberts, his second of the year. So Roberts at first base with the single to left field. And the batter coming up, the catcher, Bob Davis. Davis was struck out his first time up, and now it's Roy McMillan talking to Tom Gorman at home plate. Something to do with the bat that Roberts was using. If the bat is illegal, the hit will not count.
I believe this has to do with the pine tar. Ralph looking through the glasses. Looks like the pine tar might be beyond the 18-inch limit.
And if it would be the case, the base hit would not count. Roberts would be out. But evidently Tom Gorman saying that the bat is a legal bat. Roy McMillan not agreeing, still talking to Tom Gorman. If you have nails in the hitting surface of the bat, or grooves, or pine tar too far up toward the trademark, the bat would be declared illegal. You cannot apply any foreign surface to the bat and the hitting surface. Mellon is still arguing with Tom Gorman. So the argument continues and it's heating up. Mellon and Tom Gorman. Now Roy finally departing as he loses the argument.
The catcher, number 7, Bob Davis.
That will bring up Bob Davis. Davis batting with 1 minute out, the go-ahead run at first base. Padres hitting in the bottom of the fourth inning. Davis batting at 203 has been up 69 times with 14 base hits. Right-hand batter, the catcher for the Padres in this ball game. He's 1 for 3 in the series, and here's the first pitch by Randy Tate. It is swung on and missed. Tate has given up 2 runs on 6 hits. The Mets have 2 runs on 5 off Frieslevin. Roberts a short lead at first base. Pitch back to the plate is taken over the inside corner. A fastball for a called strike. So a 2-strike count. Randy Tate to the set position, and his next delivery chopped out toward third. Garrett has to wait for it, throws to second. He's too late for the throw, and all hands are safe. High chopper to third. Garrett waiting for the ball to come down. Fired it off to second, where Meehan took the throw, but Dave Roberts beat the throw to second base. It's a base hit. So now the go-ahead run at second with 1 man out, and the batter coming up, the pitcher, Dave Frieslevin. Frieslevin walked on a 3-2 pitch his first time up. He has driven in 1 run this year with a .087 ERA, 4 base hits, and 46 times up. And the Mets are looking for a sacrifice attempt. The first pitch is taken inside, a throw to second base, and not in time as Roberts dives back in with a belly slide. Throw taken by Mike Phillips, and a fine throw by Jerry Grody. The pitch was called a ball by Tom Gorman, so they counted 1 ball and no strikes. Garrett at third and Kingman at first, looking for the sacrifice. And now Tate back to the plate. Frieslevin squares, busts and misses. A fake and a throw to second base, and Thomas back to the bag. So they count 1 ball, 1 strike. Leadoff double by Winfield, a sacrifice. A single by Roberts for a run. Followed by a single by Bob Davis, and runners at first and second, and 1 man out. And the next pitch, Frieslevin ducks under a pitch right over his head. So they count 2 balls. turned to say something to Randy Tate. Now Kingman back to the bag at first. Or back near the bag at first. He's playing in, looking for the sacrifice. Grody has the signs down. And now the pitch. And it's bunted out toward... The pitch is out, picked up by Tate. He goes over to Garrett in time to throw to first base. Not in time. But the Mets pick up the force play at third on the attempted sacrifice. Play goes 1-5 if you're scoring. Moving down to second is Bob Davis. Frieslevin, the runner at first. Mets just missing the double play as Garrett's throw over to Meehan was just a shade late. It brings up Enzo Hernandez, who has walked and scored, also has singles. Hernandez batting at .222 back in the lineup. Last night's ball game, Hector Torres played against the Mets. Torres went 0 for 3. And the first pitch to Hernandez swung on a miss, a breaking ball at strike one. Tie ball game, 2-2. The Padres have runners at first and second, 2 men out. Bottom half of the fourth inning. Hernandez with a closed stance. Right-hand batter, and he ducks. The pitch is inside, a breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Padres led 1-0 after the first inning. The Mets got the lead in the fourth when they scored 2, and now the Padres have tied it up in the bottom of the fourth inning by scoring 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It is popped up. The ball is on third base side. Wayne Garrett is under it. And Wayne makes the catch, and that retires the side. 1 run on 3 hits. No errors and 2 men left. And the score at the end of 4 as Bob Murphy comes in for the play-by-play. The Mets 2, the Padres 2.
Have you tried on a pair of Right Slacks lately? Have you ever tried on a pair? Have you ever heard of Right Slacks? Well, listen carefully, because Right Slacks are great. And it's time you found out how great. Find out about the fabulous feel, the fantastic fit, the colors, the styles. Well, it's time, all right, so you do it today. At the Sir William Squire Shop, 32 West Main in Johnstown. Right Slacks at the Sir William Squire Shop, 32 West Main in Johnstown.
Pork chop double on the gravy.
Hey, Patterson, more forks. Pronto. Clean forks coming up.
Paging Dr. Patterson to emergency.
Dr. Patterson, the patient has a severe scalp laceration.
All right, get me the sutures.
William Patterson was a dishwasher. Now he's a doctor. The United Negro College Fund has helped many black students change the course of their lives. Please support the United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. A public service message of this station and the Advertising Council.
Number 5 at San Diego Stadium, and the top of the batting order for New York. Del Unser will be up against Dave Frieslevin. The game is tied 2-2. New York 2 runs on 5 hits. San Diego 2 runs on 7 hits. The Padres have had 5 left in 4 innings. The Mets have had 4 left on in 4 innings. Del Unser 1 for 2. Del had an infield hit on a ball knocked down by McCovey in the 3rd inning. McCovey could not complete the play. Tom Seaver and Dan Spillner are the pitchers. Tom Seaver is the only 18-game winner of the National League. Randy Jones of the Padres has won 17. Minnesota defeated Milwaukee tonight 2-1 with Dave Goltz beating Pete Broberg in the pitching duel. Twins are playing good ball. They've won 13 of their last 17. And a bunt by Del Unser grabbed quickly by the catcher Davis. And the throw to first is in time for the out. Unser never got that bunt away from the plate. One out and nobody on. Felix Millan coming up. Felix has drawn a walk and hit into a force play, 0-1. Baltimore and Kansas City tied 1-1 after 3 in their second ball game. And the pitch to Mian, a fastball by Frieslevin, strike one call. The Tigers and Rangers 2-2, last of the 7th inning down in Arlington. In the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. At Shea Stadium, Catfish and the Yankees beat Oakland 7-1. California beat the Red Sox 8-2. Ed Figueroa beat Luis Tiant. Inside at the knees, taken by Mian, 2-1. Veteran Ron Fairley hit a home run to tie up the game in St. Louis. And a line drive, base hit, going into right field for Felix Mian. Winfield, the right fielder, plays it back in to Tito Fuentes. 6th hit of the game off Dave Frieslevin, and Mike Vail comes up. Vail 4 for 4 and a walk last night. He loves to play, and he's very alert. He hit into a double play in the 1st inning and came up in the 4th inning and bunted his way on to get the rally going. Perfect bunt down the 3rd baseline. Here's the pitch on the way. Inside to Mike Vail. 1 ball and no strikes. Mike stands back from the plate. Puts that back foot on the restraining line. Crouches just slightly. The pitch by Frieslevin, and a drive in the air toward left center field, going to be in for a base hit. Taken on a hop by Johnny Grubb. Mian will go around to 3rd, and Vail is on with a long single to left center field. Runners on 1st and 3rd and 1 out, and Rusty Staub coming up. So in the San Diego series, Mike Vail has 6 hits in 7 times at bat. The hitter is Rusty Staub, and plowboy Tom Morgan goes to the mound. Rich Folkers will start loosening up again. Folkers warmed up in the last inning, with the Mets scored 2 runs on 4 hits. The game is tied 2-2. We're in the 5th inning. And the pitching coach, Tom Morgan, walks to the mound. Mets need this one badly. The Pirates have won. The Cardinals won the first game of a doubleheader. It was quite a game for the Cardinals. They were down 8-1 after 6.5 innings. They scored 6 runs in the 7th and pulled within 1. Then the Astros got 1 more, and it was 9-7. But the Cardinals tied the game in the last of the 8th inning, and they won the ball game in the last of the 12th inning. The second game is tied 2-2 in the last of the 2nd, and the Phillies and Dodgers are tied 1-1 in the 3rd. Reds won their day game from Chicago. Pirates won 8-2 behind Larry Demery. Rusty Staub is waiting. Here's the pitch on the way. Inside and low. 1 ball, no strikes. Mian is on 3rd and Mike Vail on 1st. And the pitch on the way, a foul ball behind 3rd, back up into the crowd. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rusty helped to build a run in the 4th inning. He singled to right after the bunt single by Mike Vail. Dave Kingman's single brought home the first run. That tied the game at 1-1. Then Mike Phillips singled to put New York ahead 2-1. And the pitch. At a line drive base hit going into center field, the Mets will take the lead. Mian is in to score, and it's 3-2. For Rusty Staub, his 88th run batted in. 3 hits in a row now off Dave Frieslevin. And the batter is Dave Kingman. Kingman has reached on a walk, and he lined a long single down the left field line, bringing home Mike Vail. And that was Kingman's 70th RBI of the year. Rich Folkers, a left-hander, loosening in the Padre bullpen. Frieslevin may be about 1 hit from being out of the game. I'm sure he knows it. Here's the pitch. And a breaking ball, a strike call to Dave Kingman. Runners on 1st and 2nd. 1 man away. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike to Dave Kingman. The Mets have regained the lead. 3-2. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Now Kingman wants to get out and tighten up the batting glove on his left hand. Frieslevin ready. The defense far around the left. Outside and low. Ball 2. Ball 1. 1-2. Frieslevin in the set position. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Big one for Frieslevin. And he fans Dave Kingman with a curveball. And Wayne Garrett comes up. Fourth strikeout for stocky right-hander Dave Frieslevin. Garrett is hitless and 2 times at bat. Wayne is bounced to first. In a soft line drive to the second baseman, Tito Fuentes. With 1 out, the Mets stitched together 3 hits in a row to get a run. And the pitch to Wayne Garrett. Fastball high. 1 ball and no strikes. Frieslevin checking the runners. And the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike to Wayne Garrett. He jammed him at the letters. Mike Vail is on second and Rusty Staub on first. 2 men away. Jerry Grody, the on-deck batter. The 1-1 pitch. Strike called. He worked the outside corner at the knees with a fastball. Tough pitch to make, and he made it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Frieslevin working rapidly. And the pitch on the way. And a drive over second into short center field, a base hit. Around third, coming in is Mike Vail. He will score, and the Mets lead 4-2. Sinking liner hit out over second into short center field. A run-scoring hit for Wayne Garrett. His 33rd run batted in. Lead 4-2. The batter coming up is Jerry Grody. The Mets had 4 hits in the 4th inning, and now they have 4 in the 5th inning. New York 4 runs on 9 hits, no errors. San Diego 2 runs on 7 hits, no errors. And Grody is the 7th man to bat in the inning. Jerry is 0 for 2. Frieslevin delivers, and a half-swing foul back against the screen. Folkers has had plenty of time to be ready if John McNamara wants him. Mike Phillips, the on-deck batter. And the pitch on the way. Fastball a little bit inside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Grody. We're only in the 5th inning, yet 7 of the 9 starters for New York already have at least 1 hit. Grody is hitless, and so is Randy Tate. The 1-1 pitch, low outside, handled by Bob Davis. It is 2 balls and a strike. Now Grody resetting himself in the batter's box. Staub is on second, and Garrett on first, 2 men away. The infield a stride to left, the outfield straight away. Here's the pitch. And a half swing, he went through with that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two to Jerry Grody. Jerry hitting .299. Now the pitch by Frieslevin. Outside, ball free. Curve by Frieslevin, missed the outside corner. Rusty Staub on second and Wayne Garrett on first. They'll be underway with the next delivery by Dave Frieslevin on 3-2, 2 men away. Fuentes, the second baseman, shaded toward the middle of the diamond. And Hernandez, the shortstop, over in the hole. There go the runners. The pitch. Ground ball hit down to third. Booted by Dave Roberts. Staub around third trying to score. He's going to make it standing up. The Mets lead 5-2. Hard ground ball to third, booted by third baseman Roberts, and he booted it over into foul territory. With the runners going on 3-2, Staub rounded third and just kept going. And the ball was booted far enough over into foul territory so that there was no play on Rusty Staub. That'll be an error all the way on Dave Roberts. The Mets now lead 5-2. McNamara goes to the mound. This will be all for Dave Frieslevin, and Rich Folkers will be coming in the ballgame. Folkers, in 38 appearances this year, has won 5 and lost 8. Against New York, he has relieved on 4 different occasions. He was a winning pitcher in relief against New York on August 13th when he worked 2 innings in an 8-5 San Diego victory. So Rich Folkers comes on in relief. And while the pitching change is being made here in San Diego, the Mets now leading 5-2.
This is Ed Crank for the New York Mets. Hear every inning of every Met game home and away on WIZR FM 105. Your home for the Mets and Colonials in 1975.
Rich Folkers, who started out in professional baseball in the New York Met organization. Last year he was with the Cardinals, had a successful year as a relief pitcher. He had gone back to the minors and developed a screwball. Mike Phillips hits the first pitch, and he fouls it back into the crowd. No play. 3 runs are scored. Top of the 5th inning. New York now leading 5-2. Last run crossing the plate. And Grody's ground ball was footed by third baseman Dave Roberts. For New York, runners on first and third. Garrett is on third, and Grody on first. 2 men away. Here comes the pitch. Fastball, a strike called. A 2-strike count on Mike Phillips. Dave Frieslevin in 4 2/3 innings has given up 5 runs at the moment. Allowed 9 hits, walked 2, and struck out 4. And a fly ball into the air to left center field. Bobby Tolan is standing under it waiting, and he has it for the 3rd out. So 8 men came to bat. The Mets scored 3 runs. 4 hits, 1 error, 2 left on. So we have come halfway at the end of 4.5 innings. The Mets 5 and the Padres 2. Last of the 5th inning in San Diego. And it will be 2, 3, and 4 in the Padre batting order. Tito Fuentes, Johnny Grubb, and Willie McCovey. New York 5 runs on 9 hits. San Diego 2 runs on 7 hits. It has not been easy for Randy Tate. Garrett in close at third against Tito Fuentes, batting left-handed. Fastball, strike 1 call. Del Unser playing a couple of strides to the opposite field against Tito Fuentes. A little bit high with a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Windup. Here's the pitch by Randy Tate. Poured right in for a strike call. 1 and 2. Padre Ball Club is a left-handed hitting ball club. They have done better against right-handers than they have against left-handers this year. The 1-2 pitch. It's too high, and Fuentes takes that quick step back. When Tito isn't going to swing at a pitch, he moves that front foot back very quickly. The 2-2 delivery hit late, a foul ball behind Jim Davenport coaching third. The Dodgers 3 and the Phillies 1 after 3.5. Cardinals 2, Houston 1 at the end of 3. Expos and Giants 2-2 in the second. High outside. It is 3 and 2. Tate. Checking it out now with Jerry Grody. And the pitch on the way. Into the air to left field. Mike Vail easing back. He's under it. 1 man away. So Tate getting Tito Fuentes. Fuentes was 2 for 2 when he stepped in. And the hitter is Johnny Grubb, batting third in the order. Grubb hitting .273, has popped to short and popped to second. Johnny Grubb was rested last night by John McNamara. He's rather frail. He's a gifted hitter. But playing day in and day out, sometimes his bat gets a little bit slow, and when it does, McNamara gives him a day off. Garrett in against the left-hand hitter, and a strike called at the knees. Randy Tate trying to break a 3-game losing streak. Last victory was at Wrigley Field. And a swing and a miss, strike 2. Stretch McCovey waiting on deck.
Tate working in front on the batter. The two-strike delivery. A fly ball over toward the left field line. Bale running back, slows up, and he makes the catch on the warning track over near the left field corner. So, 2 outs and nobody on, last of the 5th inning. And the hitter is Willie McCovey. McCovey with 14 home runs and 42 runs batted in. Batting average of 241. And the outfielders take off on the run now to move way over to right. And with the bases empty, this time the Mets will put the shift on. Phillips moving over on the second base side of the infield, leaving only Garrett between second and third. Low, outside, ball 1. Garrett is actually closer to second than he is to third. And the left fielder, Vale, is over in the power alley in left center. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. That big swing by McCovey as Tate challenged him with a fastball. Randy hasn't had that good strikeout pitch going tonight. When he breaks that good curveball over, he gets a lot of strikeouts. And a changeup. Swung and missed, 1 and 2. Dave Winfield waiting his turn at bat. The 1-2 delivery and a line shot foul down the right field line. No play. The count remains 1 and 2 on McCovey. The Mets 5, the Padres 2 in the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Mets have the shift on against Willie McCovey. Pitching 1 and 2. Inside, and Big Mac takes the count as 2 and 2. Randy Tate has walked 2, struck out 2, and a swing and a foul. Just got a piece of it. Randy recently became a father for the first time, a baby girl, Tracy Dawn. Baby girl about 2 weeks old now. Willie McCovey cocks the bat, the pitch on the way, too high, ball 3. And a full count to McCovey, 3 and 2. Here's the windup by Tate, the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He threw the curveball on 3 and 2 and struck out McCovey. For Randy Tate, his 3rd strikeout. And for the first time in the game, Randy has a 1-2-3 inning. At the end of 5 now at San Diego Stadium, the New York Mets 5 and the San Diego Padres 2.
Attention mobile home owners. Are you tired of having your mobile home insurance carried through a company and agent you've never seen? If so, here's good news. The Winbart Agency now handles complete mobile home insurance through an old and respected company. And that means you get complete coverage with a local agent here to serve your needs immediately with instant claim service. See the Winbart Agency today and get your mobile home insurance locally. That's the Winbart Insurance Agency, North Main Street in Gloversville.
I'm Richard Thomas. In the last 45 years since the Big Depression, we've learned a great deal about the care of a baby before birth. If you are pregnant, follow March of Dimes' advice. See a doctor immediately and get good prenatal care. Be good to your baby before it is born. A message with love from the March of Dimes.
Number with the call, take it immediately to section 42 over on the plaza and sign in for tonight's 10,000.
6th inning in San Diego, and Randy Tate will lead off. Randy now is 0 for 39 on the year. In the game tonight, he's flied to center and struck out.
Number 48, Randy Tate.
Rich Folkers pitching in relief. Dave Frieslevin gave up 5 runs, 9 hits in 4 2/3 innings. The pitch to Randy Tate is inside in low, ball 1. Del Unser will be the next hitter. He missed the inside corner, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Randy here tonight hoping to snag his 5th pitching triumph of the year. The 2-0 delivery. Low inside, ball 3-0. Tom Seaver will pitch tomorrow night, and then Tom will open the homestand on Labor Day against the Pirates in the 4:05 p.m. game at Shea. Strike call, 3-1. Roy McMillan will have his big three going in that Pirates series. Tom Seaver, Jerry Koosman, and John Madlock. The 3-1 pitch. That's over a strike call, 3-2. And again, Randy Tate was taking. They had him taking on 3-1. The 3-2 delivery, low, ball 4, and Randy Tate is on base. He hasn't been there for a while. First walk by Folkers, and now Del Unser will be coming up at the top of the batting order. Del has 1 for 3, an infield hit in the third inning.
Number 25, Del Unser.
The Mets lead 5-2. We're in the top of the sixth inning. If the Mets can win here tonight, they'll be 5-4 on this long road trip. And the pitch to Del Unser, and he bunts it foul. Came off the bat, straight back toward the backstop. Del tried to bunt for a hit in the fifth inning, but did not get the ball away from the plate, and the catcher, Bob Davis, threw him out. McCovey holding against Randy Tate. It's left-hander against left-hander. And the pitch on the way, bunted back toward the mound. Folkers will throw to second. They have a force play, and on to first, not in time. Ball bunted a little too hard. It was high and inside. Unser was falling away from the plate when he bunted the ball back to Folkers. So 1 out and 1 on in the visiting sixth inning, and Millan will hit. Felix singled to right to start a 3-run rally in the last inning. Millan 1 for 2 and a walk. Felix batting .296. Mike Vail comes out on deck. And the pitch. High, outside, ball 1. Mike Vail has 2 for 3 in this game, and he went 4 for 4 last night. Left-hander Rich Folkers from the stretch. Here's the pitch. The runner goes. Hit and run, foul ball down the right field line. Millan trying to steer the ball behind the runner on the hit and run play. And it was fouled by several yards. Now Folkers takes time to go to the rosin bag. One ball and 1 strike, the count to Felix Millan as he chokes way up on the bat. Here's the pitch. And a breaking ball on the inside corner, a strike. Felix did not like the call by Tom Gorman, and he walks out of the batter's box. Padres have the infield and the outfield set up straight away against Millan. The infield looking for a double play. 1 out and 1 on here at the top of the sixth inning. From the set position, Folkers steps off. He figures the hit and run play might be on again. He's trying to keep Del Unser close to first. Now the 1-2 delivery, swung on and foul back into the backstop. Fastball by Rich Folkers. There was a time when Charlie Williams and Rich Folkers both were going to Parsons College in Iowa at the same time. Both wound up signing with the Mets. The 1-2 delivery, fouled off, skidded off the bat handle back toward the visiting dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A victory. The Pirates won their ball game tonight, defeating Atlanta 8-2. Jamie Easterly did not get out of the first inning. 1-2 pitch. And a ground ball hit down to third. Roberts has it. He goes to Fuentes, one. And on to McCovey, a double play. Around the infield for the double play that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. 5.5 innings gone. New York 5, San Diego 2.
Some people save bits of string. Some people save matchbooks, and some people save pretty stones. And when they get all done, they have nothing more than a lot of string, loads of matchbooks, and piles of stones. Well, smart people save their money at Gloversville Federal. And when they get done, they have their money and then some. They have interest, too. Take interest in your money today by opening a savings account at Gloversville Federal Savings and Loan Association, North Main Street in Gloversville, and in Saratoga. They're an equal housing lender, and deposits are insured up to $40,000 by the FDIC.
You could start building your tomorrow, building your tomorrow, building your tomorrow, thinking Army today. You could start building your tomorrow, building your tomorrow, building your tomorrow, thinking Army today. You could start building your tomorrow.
Lead San Diego 5-2. Dave Winfield is the leadoff batter, and Winfield hit one over Del Unser's head against the 410-foot mark. A two-base hit his last time up. For Winfield, it was his 15th double of the year. He's hitting .278. Former University of Minnesota All-American. Randy Tate winds, and the pitch to Winfield, a knee-high strike, a fastball. Randy had his first 1-2-3 inning in the 5th inning. He retired Fuentes, Grubb, and McCovey. Curve, a strike called, and he gets a 2-strike edge on Dave Winfield. The on-deck hitter is Bobby Tolan, then the third baseman, Dave Roberts. Now Tate over the head, around comes the arm. He missed inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. For the crowd here tonight, the San Diego Padres achieved a new record in home attendance for a season. And the pitch on the way. Ground ball hit to third. Big hop for Garrett. He strides the throw. Plenty of time for the out. We have warm-up action in the San Diego bullpen now. Right-hander Bill Greif is throwing.
Number 28, Bobby Tolan.
Bobby Tolan on with a bunt single in the 2nd inning. And he sacrificed successfully in the 4th inning. Bobby Tolan hitting .249, a left-hand hitter. And Tate siding in. And a fly ball hit to center field. Unser easing back, draws a beat on it. He has it in his glove, 2 down. 2 outs, nobody on. Dave Roberts comes up. Third baseman Roberts, 1 for 2. Single to left field in the 4th inning. Getting on Dave a little bit for an error he committed in the field and a ball hit by Jerry Grody. On the air, the 5th run scored for New York. The Mets 5 runs, 9 hits. San Diego 2 runs and 7 hits. Mets had a shutout pitched by Hank Webb last night. He did not walk a batter. For Hank, it was his first Major League shutout and his 6th win of the year against 5 losses. And it's over at the knees, strike 1 call. Two outs, nobody on in the last of the 6th inning. And a looping fly that will drop in for a base hit, I believe. Beyond the reach of Phillips, it drops for a hit. Roberts is on with a Texas leaguer. Phillips came very close to catching the ball. It was just beyond his reach. Roberts has his 2nd hit of the game, and now Bob Davis comes up. The catcher, Bob Davis, was on an infield hit in the 4th inning after striking out in the 2nd inning. He has been used only sparingly by San Diego. He's been in just 21 ball games. Bob Davis, a right-hand hitter. Davis, a young catcher, bats right-handed, takes high inside, ball 1. David Davis get on base, we will probably see a pinch hitter for Rich Folkers. Now the pitch by Randy Tate. A fastball at the knees, a strike called. Dave Kingman holding against Dave Roberts. He reached on a Texas Leaguer, dropping into short left center. And the pitch on the way, swung on and foul back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Randy Tate checking it out. The runner leads at first. The pitch and a half swing, but he held in time. Breaking ball off the outside corner, so the count is 2-2 on Bob Davis. That's playing the infield deep against Davis, and it's almost straight away. The 2-2 pitch, and it's high, ball 3. So a full count to Davis, 3-2. Gene Locklear is not playing tonight. Would be the logical pinch hitter if Davis gets on base. The runner will be going. There he goes, the pitch. Strike 3 called. He broke the curveball over. Beautiful pitch by Randy Tate. His 4th strikeout of the game. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. Lindsey Nelson will join you for the play-by-play in just a moment. At the end of 6, that's the New York Mets 5 and the San Diego Padres 2.
200 years, 100 years has given us something deep inside, has given Marines for pride in ourselves, pride in the Corps, and pride in all our Marines stands for.
Looking for a few good men for 200 years has taught us a lot about what you want. Good jobs, good pay, education, travel. But we Marines know any other service can offer you the same good benefits. So what's the difference? This. We are the Marines. There isn't another outfit like us in the world. We've been doing things differently for 200 years now, and we're proud of it. Go for pride. See a Marine recruiter.
200 years, 200 years, 200 years.
Rich Folkers is still on the mound now for the Padres as the Mets come up here in the top half of the 7th inning, and it'll be Mike Vail to lead it off. Mike Vail has gone 2 for 3 last night. He had 4 base hits, had 1 outfield assist in the ball game tonight. So Mike Vail is off to a tremendous start since coming up from the International League, where he was leading the league in batting at the time.
Number 31, Mike Vail.
Is the right-hand batter. Here's Folkers into the motion, and the pitch is lined into right field. It is in there for a base hit. 1 hopped out there by Dave Winfield and played back, and Vail turns and holds at first with a single to right. His 3rd base hit of the ball game. Lead-off single. That brings up Rusty Staub. Rusty's had 2 hits tonight. He's driven in 1 run and scored 1. Staub for the year is hitting .275, and he has batted in 88 runs. Third base, Dave Roberts moves up even to the edge of the grass now, and it is grass here in San Diego. No artificial turf here. Nor is there any in Los Angeles, where the Mets go at the conclusion of this series. Folkers with a pitch that's low for a ball. It's 1-0. Willie McCovey is holding against the runner at first base. Left-hand pitcher works to a left-hand batter with the outfield defense straight away. Pitch is swung on and pops up back of first base. McCovey now looking for room is over near the stands, and he makes the catch. So Rusty Staub is fouled out to McCovey back of first with Mike Vail holding. Dave Kingman will be the batter. He had a single, a drive, and a run in the 4th inning. He is 1 for 2 and a walk. Kingman hitting .247 for the year, 26 home runs, and 70 runs batted in. center fielder, Johnny Grubb, moves way around toward left now as they play Kingman to pull the ball. The big gap is between Winfield and right and Grubb in center. That pitch is in for a called strike. Wayne Garrett's next in the Met batting order. Eddie Yost on the coaching lines at third. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and it is fouled back out of play. Eddie's son Mike is along on this trip, and Eddie Yost and Mike spent the day at the San Diego Zoo. So did Bud Harrelson. And one can spend a day there, or the week, or the month. The Mets are leading in this game by a score of 5-2 as they bat here in the 7th inning. In St. Louis, Houston and the Cardinals are going to the 6th inning, and the Cardinals are still leading 2-1. Doug Konechny against Harry Rasmussen. Cardinals won the first game of that tri-nighter by a score of 10-9 in 12 innings. Foker sets up and checks. The pitch is low for a ball. 1-2. In a race such as we have going in the Eastern Division of the National League, with the Pirates out in front, Phillies second, the Cardinals third, and the Mets fourth. There's a pitch high and away. The team out front has to lose for anything else to happen. Here is the 2-2 pitch. Check swing, and struck him out swinging. And now Kingman turns and kicks the bat back into the center of the diamond. Kingman turned and kicks the bat out into the center of the diamond, and Gorman turns and points the finger. Kingman checked his swing and went down on his knees. And Gorman called it a swinging strike, and when he did, Kingman arose and kicked the bat out into the center of the diamond. 2 away. Wayne Garrett's coming up. First strikeout for Foker. Here is the swing and a miss. Usually is some other penalty attached for kicking equipment like that. Ejection, a fine, that sort of thing. Now focus with the pitch to Garrett. And it's low for a ball. The paid attendance here tonight, 14,779. Runs the total attendance for the season to 1,086,942, and that's a new record for a season here in San Diego. Garrett back into the batter's box. 2 men out, and the count of 1-1. Mike Vail leading at first base. Foker sets up. Here's the pitch. It's inside for a ball. 2-1. Jerry Grody is waiting on deck. The Mets have 5 runs on 10 hits. The Padres 2 runs on 8 hits. Here's a pitch swung on and fouled off. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is Ed Crane for the New York Mets. Hear every inning of every Mets game, home and away on WIZR FM 105. Your home for the Mets and Colonials in 1975.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner here in San Diego Stadium, where the Mets are leading the Padres 5-2. The Mets have a runner at first, 2 men out. 2-2 pitch is high and tight, and the count's run full now to Garrett. It'll be an automatic start for Mike Vail, the runner at first. Mike Vail, who had 4 base hits last night and has had 3 tonight, is batting over 500 since coming to the major leagues. Vail takes his lead. He's running. 3-2 pitch is low. It's a walk. Garrett gets rid of the bat, goes down to first. Grody sheds the shin guard. Second walk issued by Rich Foker. Grody has gone 0 for 3 here tonight. He brought a 6-game hitting streak into tonight's game. When the Pirates won their ball game tonight, that meant that they went 3.5 games ahead of the Phillies. Phillies are in second place. They're playing up at Dodger Stadium tonight, and their game's in the bottom of the 5th inning with the Dodgers leading them by a score of 3-1. Cardinals won the first game of their tri-nighter to keep pace, meaning that they stayed 3.5 back. That's in for a call strike. But they can, of course, pick up a half game. The Cardinals are leading 2-1 in the 6th inning of their second game. The Mets must win here to stay 6 games back in 4th place. Runners lead first and second. And the breaking pitch is low for a ball. That was the Scroogie. The extra pitch that Rich Folkers added after having left the pitching staff of the New York Mets. He went down to the minors. Picked up the Scroogie and came back to the Cardinals. Bill Greif is up and throwing in the bullpen because this figures to be Folkers' last inning. They figure to go to a pinch hitter. Now the delivery that's foul back and out of play. It's 1-2. Mike Vail at second base and Wayne Garrett at first base. The Mets bat in the top of the 7th inning, San Diego Stadium. Willie Mays, Coach Willie Mays, is here for this game tonight between the Mets and the Padres. Willie was participating in the pregame drills. Runners lead at first and second, and Folkers steps off. Watch the signs all over again from young catcher Bob Davis, who complies. Folkers doesn't read them either, so Grody backs out of the batter's box. Tomorrow night, Tom Seaver goes for the Mets. His lifetime record against the Padres, 17 wins and 1 loss. Dan Spillner for San Diego tomorrow night. He's won 5 and lost 10. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swung on, hit up the alley in right center field. Grubb is racing over, and he cannot get to it. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Vail comes on to score. Garrett around third is coming on to score, and Grody is on his way to third. There is no relay. He goes in standing with a triple and 2 runs batted in, and the Mets are leading by a score of 7-2. Well, Grody had a triple last night high off the wall down in the left field corner that might have been a home run. It was called in play and was a triple. And he is now tripled to right center field in tonight's game. Grody batting better than 300 for the year. Driving in 2 runs there to give him 36 RBIs for the year. And with 2 men out, left-hand batting shortstop Mike Phillips is coming up. Phillips is 1 for 3. He batted in a run with a base hit in the 4th inning. There's a swing and a foul ball off and out of play at strike 1. Grody at third with 2 men out. Randy Tate is on deck. Bill Greif throwing in the San Diego bullpen. The Mets have 7 runs on 11 hits, and the Padres have 2 runs on 8 hits. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count now. Outfield defense straight away against Mike Phillips. Left-hand pitcher to a left-hand batter here. Here's a pitch high and tight as Folkers came over the top. It's 1-2. Folkers kicks at the rubber a time or 2. Delivers the 1-2, and it's in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dodgers got 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, so going to the 6th. The Dodgers 6 and the Phillies 1. There was really pennant fever in Philadelphia when the Phils earlier this month moved into a tie with the Pirates in first place. Here's a foul ball back and out of play. But that fever has since subsided somewhat. Phillies are tough at home. They're tough on the carpet at Veterans Stadium. But they're not that tough when they leave home, and especially when they get to where the surface is natural grass. Here's a swing and a 1-hop Fuentes. Backhanded to second place over to McCovey in time. Phillips has grounded out. So there were 2 runs. 2 hits and a walk, no errors, and 1 left out in the middle of the 7th inning. The score is the Mets 7 and the Padres 2.
The Miss Johnstown Diner, East Main Street, downtown Johnstown, is the place to stop for good food anytime. Try the super hot dogs with the special meat sauce, the super chili, that delicious coffee, and many other luncheon, dinner, and breakfast specials. The Miss Johnstown Diner is open 5 a.m. till 6 p.m. Monday and Tuesday, 5 a.m. till midnight Wednesday and Thursday, around the clock Friday and Saturday, and till noon on Sunday. For good food anytime, see Dick D. Magistris at the Miss Johnstown Diner, East Main Street, downtown Johnstown.
Hi, this is Kurt Gowdy for the National Park Service. There's all kinds of critters living in our national parks. Everything from alligators in the swamps and glades to bears in the forests and mountains. Sure, some of them look cute, but remember they're wild animals, and you're in their home. And those wild animals
animals, large or small, can be dangerous when startled or frightened. For your family's safety, be cautious around wild animals and have a happy vacation, says the National Park Service.
It'll be Dick Sharon coming up as a pinch hitter for Rich Folkers. Dick Sharon will be the batter. He is hitting .222, 3 homers and 17 runs batted in. Folkers worked 2 1/3. Charged with 2 runs on 2 hits. He struck out 1 and walked 2. We got Dave Tomlin up and throwing down to the bullpen now. Tomlin, a left-hander, is throwing. Rife had thrown earlier. Sharon in and waiting now as Randy Tate takes his time, dips into the motion, kicks and fires, and the pitch is down the pipe for a called strike. It's 0-1. Let's play Sharon straight away. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning in San Diego, California. Again, the pitch swung on it on the ground to shortstop. Mike Phillips is over, up with it, drops it, and has no play. It's going to be scored. As a base hit, says the official score, but on the scoreboard it says there was shortstop. So it must have been E6, he said, instead of base hit. Make that an error against Mike Phillips at shortstop, which is a logical call of the play. Enzo Hernandez is coming up. He walked out a base hit and popped out. Hector Torres has been playing shortstop most of the time of late, having beaten Enzo Hernandez out of that post on the Padres team. Here's Tate's pitch, and it's a fastball in for a called strike. Randy Tate has struck out 4 and he's walked 2. Came into this game having struck out 30 in the last 25 innings. Tate came in with a record of 4 wins and 12 losses in this his rookie year in the major league. Here's a swing and a looper into short left field. Phillips is digging out. Getting over. Phillips makes the catch this time. Turns and throws. Moving back is Sharon. A moment ago, Phillips went out there and almost made a catch of a ball just about like that. This time he went out, veered over to his right, and grabbed it with a one-hand thrust to the glove. 1 away, runner at first. Tito Fuentes, 2 for 3. Switch hitter, batting left. Kingman is over to hold against the runner at first. And that pitch is high for a ball. Tate again looks to Grody for the sign. Looks back over his shoulder at Kingman now holding against the runner. And here's the pitch. Outside. 2-0. Last year was the first time that the Padres had ever gone over the 1 million mark in home plate attendance. Pitch is inside. And now here tonight, with a crowd of some 14,000 plus change, they have gone over the mark they set last year. That was a great change in attitude about the game of baseball here in San Diego last year after the franchise had almost left town. Here's a 3-0 pitch. Inside walking. Fuentes gets rid of the bat, goes down to first base. Third walk issued by Tate. Sets up runners first and second and brings up Johnny Grubb. Grubb has popped out, and flied out 0 for 3. The change in attitude about the game is evidenced by the eagerness and exuberance with which the fans watched the proceedings. There were years when one could sit in almost silence here at San Diego Stadium. Runners lead first and second. Curveball in there for a call strike to the left-hand batting Johnny Grubb, who is followed by Willie McCovey in the batting order. The Mets are leading by a score of 7-2. Randy Tate off the stretch. Delivers the pitch. Fastball hit on the ground to first. Kingman has it. He turns, goes to Phillips. There's one to throw back to Tate. He's safe. Moving over to third on the infield out. Dick Sharon. Their runners at first and third, 2 away. 0-2 pitch. Curveball, and it's laced into center for a base hit. Leadoff single for Dave Winfield. And that will bring up Bobby Tolan. Bunted his way on first time up. Sacrificed the second time. He is 1 for 2. The hit was number 9 for the Padres in this game. The Mets are leading by a score of 7-2. Is over the hole against the runner. Off the stretch, Tate delivers. Pitch is high and away as Tolan moved up and bluffed a bunt. Garrett hanging around the edge of the grass, not against the bunting possibility, but against the speed of the left-hand batter. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike. It's 1-1 to Tolan. He's followed in the order by Dave Roberts. Here's the pitch swung on and hit on the ground foul. Back at first, it turned Coach Dick Sisler around down there. Dick Sisler back to the major leagues this year as a coach for the Padres after having been out of baseball for 4 years. One time he was manager of the Cincinnati Reds. After that, a coach for the St. Louis Cardinals. So to first and not in time. Winfield's back safely. Count is 1-2 to Tolan at the plate. Sisler's been working with country musicians in Nashville, Tennessee in recent years. Swinging a ground ball to second. That could be 2. Millan over to Phillips and a throw to first, a double play. 4-6-3. Millan to Phillips and on to Kingman. 2 men out, nobody on base. And Dave Roberts will be the batter. He's gone 2 for 3. Dave Roberts, who came off the campus of the University of Oregon to the San Diego Padres, been an outstanding collegiate baseball player. Not only had he been an All-American, he had also been College Baseball Player of the Year. Ran into troubles, however, early this year. Couldn't get things together and was sent out to Hawaii, where he spent most of the year. That can't be all bad. Here's Tate now working straight away. Fires the fastball in there for a call strike at the knees. It's 0-1 to Roberts. Tate has struck out 4, walked 3 here tonight and making a bid for his 5th win of the year. Record 4-12 starting play tonight. Breaking pitch it in the air to center field. Unser has it lined up. He makes the catch and the side is retired. So there was a hit but none left because of the double play. And at the end of 8 innings, the score is Mets 7 and the Padres 2.
Hi, I'm Marty from Duras Brothers, telling you that thousands of people have discovered the greatest way to save money on furniture, TV, and...
Go north, young man, to Northville and see the complete Ford line of cars and trucks at Ferrero Weiss Ford. The whole gang at Ferrero Weiss Ford are ready and able to serve you with a personal service so often not found at larger dealers. If it's used cars you're looking for, see their ad in Thursday or Friday night's leader. And remember, at Ferrero Weiss, they take most anything in trade. For a big deal, you don't need a big dealer. Go north to Northville at Ferrero Weiss Ford, where service is as close as your phone.
Millions of Americans visit national parks each summer. The smart ones plan ahead and get into a real vacation. Their plans might include an off-season trip this year or a longer visit to just one park. Get out of your car and get into nature on foot. You'll discover the difference between just another trip and a real vacation if you plan ahead. Your national parks, places to touch your history. A message in the public interest by the National Park Service, Department of Interior, and this station.
And Rusty Staub will lead it off. Against Western Division teams this year, the Mets have a record coming into tonight's game of 38 wins and 28 losses. So the Mets have stayed alive against the Western Division this year. When they finish Sunday's game in Los Angeles, they will have completed their schedule for this year against Western Division teams. Rusty Staub is grounded out, had a base hit to drive in a run, and fouled out. 2 for 4. Hitting .275. Dave Kingman is waiting on deck. pitcher of record is Dave Frieslevin, who started. He worked 4 2/3, and then Rich Folkers worked 2 1/3. The pitch is in there for a called strike. The left-hander with the pitch. Side-armed and fouled off. 0-2 to Rusty Staub. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled off. He was checking back. He was not swinging. Just checked the bat back, and it clicked off the handle. So the count holds at 0-2. Pitch misses low and away. 1-2 is the count. Tomlin takes a moment. Tugs at the bill of his cap. Dips into the motion. The pitch is off the glove of catcher Bob Davis, rolling back. 2-2 now, the count to Staub. The Mets have had 7 runs on 11 hits, and the Padres 2 runs on 9 hits. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hits on the ground to second. Fuentes has it. Goes to McCovey at first. There's one away. That'll bring up Dave Kingman. Second Cardinal game's in the 8th inning now, and the Cards are still leading Houston by a score of 2-1. The Dodgers are batting the bottom of the 7th, leading the Phillies by a score of 6-1. Kingman is getting the business to the fans here at San Diego because of his having kicked the bat away last time when he struck out. That pitch is low for a ball. 1-0 the count. One man out, nobody on base. Tomlin delivers the pitch. Inside for a ball. 2-0 to Dave Kingman, who is followed by Wayne Garrett. Fastball is fouled off and out of play. 2 balls and a strike. There is a certain New York flavor to part of the operation of these Padres. President of the team is Buzzy Pavesi, longtime general manager of the Dodgers, who lived in Westchester County for many years. Swinging a ground ball to short, taken there deep by Hernandez. There's a long throw and in time. As Kingman trots down to first base. 2 away, and that'll bring up Wayne Garrett. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is Julius LaRosa with Ed Crank for the New York Mets. Through every inning of every Mets game, home and away on WIZR FM 105. You're home for the Mets and Colonials in 1975.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Canner and Bob Murphy here in San Diego, California, where the Mets are leading the Padres 7-2. Garrett's at the plate. Tomlin's pitch is in for a called strike. The Mets are batting in the top of the 9th. 2 men out and nobody on base. Vice President and General Manager of the Padres is Tito Fuentes, who was born in Westchester County, New York. Here's a pitch low. Broadcaster is Jerry Coleman, who played for the Yankees and broadcast for the Yankees. 1-1 delivery. Swung on and fouled off to the left side, out of play. It's 1-2. Tomlin with the pitch. Riding in high for a ball. 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled off. In Vista's clubhouse here, they have, of course, the coaches with their lockers in a row, and the first one after Willie Mays is Joe Torre. Willie was kidding Torre before the game and says, you know what the next move is. Here is the 2-2 pitch. Swung on it in the air to right field, and moving up is Winfield. He has it lined up, and he makes the catch. So, that is retired in order, nothing across. And in the middle of the 9th inning, the score is the Mets 7 and the Padres 2.
To make sure your car is running in peak condition, have Paul or Ray at Paul Thompson's Texaco check it over from bumper to bumper. To make sure it purrs like a kitten, Paul will give it an expert tune-up. And for safety's sake, he'll check the brakes, exhaust system, windshield wipers, and tires. If you need new tires or a battery, Paul has just the right ones for your car. Paul Thompson's Texaco, corner of Briggs and the Johnstown Arterial.
We believe in America. We believe in you.
Sometimes when my baby doesn't sleep, I hold him and walk him and think how lucky I am. I remembered March of Dime's words, had good prenatal care, saw a doctor early and often, and did what he said. Please follow March of Dime's advice if you're pregnant. Be good to your baby before it's born.
Really? Randy Tate trying for a complete game performance here now will face the Padres as they bat in the bottom of the ninth inning. And we're going to get a pinch hitter. Kubiak is going to bat for Bob Davis. Kubiak.
For Padres, pitch hitting for the catcher, Davis, number 8, Ted Kubiak.
Kubiak batting for Davis. Kubiak is hitting .221 with 12 runs batted in. Tomlin is out there on deck, but simply means they have not sent out the pinch hitter yet to bat for him. The pitch. And it's in there for a called strike. Now Locklear has come out on deck. Gene Locklear is out there on deck now. Locklear will bat for Tomlin. Here's a swing and a foul ball backing out of play. Game in St. Louis is now in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Cardinals are still leading it by a score of 2-1 as they bat in the bottom of the 8th. Cardinals trying for a sweep of a 2-game set. The Phillies are trailing the Dodgers, who lead them by a score of 6-1. And if the Cardinals win that second game and the Phils lose, the Cards will move ahead of the Phils in the standings of the Eastern Division. Swinging a ground ball to Kingman, who can't find it. Goes to first and just in time. Kingman dropped it and could not find it for a moment and then recovered in time to get it over to Randy Tate, the pitcher, who covered it first for a 3-1 putout. One away. Locklear is batting for Tomlin.
Pitch hitting for the pitcher, Tomlin, number 32.
So Kubiak grounded out. Locklear coming up with a batting average of .316, 4 homers and 26 runs batted in. Randy Tate has had only one complete game performance in his major league career. Trying for a second here tonight. The pitch a little high for a ball. It's 1-0. One man out with nobody on base. Padres batting in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Mets leading by a score of 7-2. Tate's pitch in there for a called strike. It's 1-1. Randy Tate has struck out 4 and he's walked 3. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and fouled off to the left side out of play. It's 1-2. After this game, the Mets will have 32 games left on their schedule. 13 at home and 19 on the road. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Struck him out. Fifth strikeout for Randy Tate. Locklear swinging 2 away, and Enzo Hernandez is coming up. Hernandez has walked, got a base hit. Popped out and popped out. He is 1 for 3 and a walk. Hector Torres has been playing most of the shortstop recently, having beaten Enzo out of that spot. Here's a pitch that's high for a ball. It's 1-0. Pirates won their game 8-2 tonight from the Atlanta Braves.
ball down the pipe. Call strike. It's 1-1. So a Met victory would leave them trailing the Pirates by 6 games in the Eastern Division with 32 games left to play. And that's a lot of games. Swinging a high fly ball to left field. Mike Vail is moving up, calling as he comes. Mike Vail makes the catch, and the ball game is over. Randy Tate gets a complete game victory. Only the second in his major league career. The Mets have made it 2 in a row over the Padres in the 9th inning, nothing across. We'll be back in a moment with the final summary and totals. Right now, the final score of the game is the Mets 7 and the Padres 2.
As an Army infantryman, you have to own more than a good pair of boots. You have to own the nerve to repel from a helicopter and the stamina to survive in the wilderness. You need the savvy to find water where it hasn't rained, food where you can't see any, and your way home where the stars are your only roadmap. You also need the skill to turn ropes into bridges, ponchos into rafts, and personnel carriers on a dime. Infantry in today's Army isn't easy, but then hardly anything worthwhile is.
Join the people who join the Army. You could start building your tomorrows today. Join the people who join the Army.
See Sergeant Brousseau or Sergeant Sumter, 5 North Main in Gloversville, or call 725-0331. That's 725-0331.
San Diego, the New York Mets have defeated the Padres by a score of 7-2. And to tell you something of how they did it, here's Ralph Kiner.
Well, the Padres had the early lead, scoring in the bottom of the first. A walk to Hernandez, a single by Fuentes, putting runners at first and second. After 2 men were out, a pass ball moved them up, and then a ground ball scored the first run of the ball game. The run was unearned. Mets got the lead when they scored 2 runs in the top of the 4th inning. Mike Vail led it off with a bunt base hit. Rusty stopped single to right field to put runners at first and second. Dave Kingman lined a single down the left field line, and the Mets had tied the ball game. Then with Mike Phillips at the plate and 2 men away, Phillips singled to center field to put the Mets in front by a score of 2-1. Padres got the run back and tied it up again when Dave Winfield led off with a double off the center field fence 410 feet away. Bobby Tolan sacrificed him to third, and Winfield scored on a base hit by Dave Roberts. The Mets then got the lead when they scored 3 runs in the 5th inning. Bill Unser led off and was out on a ball bunted out in front of the plate. He was thrown out at first base. Felix Meon singled to right field. Mike Vail got the second of his 3 hits in the ball game. A single to left center field with Meon going to third. Rusty Staub singled up the middle to put the Mets in front by a score of 3-2. Wayne Garrett then came through with a base hit after an error had allowed another run, and the Mets had the lead by a score of 5-2. They got 2 more runs in the 7th inning when Mike Vail singled to right field, and Jerry Grody came up with a double after a walk to Wayne Garrett to drive in the final 2 runs of the ball game. Randy Tate, getting his second complete game of the season, now has a record of 5 wins and 12 losses. The losing pitcher Frieslevin now with a record of 5-14. Mets against the Padres have won 7 of the 11 games played, and on this road trip now, the Mets have won 5 and lost 4. And the Mets in winning their ball game, remaining 6 games back of the Pittsburgh Pirates, who also won. The paid attendance here tonight, 14,789, and the Padres have set an all-time season record with the attendance here tonight. Padres now have drawn a total of 1,086,942. The line score of the ball game, the Mets 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, 8 men left on base. The Padres 2 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, and also 8 men left on base. We'll be back with a word.
You have been listening to New York Mets baseball on WIZR FM 105. Today's New York Mets baseball game has been brought to you by the Sir William Squire Shop, by the Miss Johnstown Diner, East Main Street in Johnstown, by the Winbard Insurance Agency, now featuring mobile home insurance, by GFS, Gloversville Federal Savings and Loan in Gloversville, by the Holden Lumber Company, Carpenter Street, Gloversville, Agway on the Johnstown Arterial, the City Line Block Company, Reed Street in Gloversville, Duras Brothers on the Fonda Johnstown Road, by Ferraro Weiss Ford in Northville, Paul Thompson's Texaco on the Johnstown Arterial, and by Dairy Lee and Schaefer Beer as another featured presentation in the Schaefer Circle of Sports. This is Gary McPhillips reminding you to stand by when New York Mets baseball comes
station. This is WIZR FM Johnstown. Now, WIZR Music with Dave Charles.
It's AP News going to do it to you now.
WIZR FM Johnstown.
It's December, and at Army garrisons in 3 other cities. Several hours ago, the only military man in President Isabel Perón's cabinet, Colonel Vicente Damasco, resigned. Mrs. Perón rejected the resignation. That's the top story. I'm Dan Scanlon. In headlines worldwide, Agriculture Secretary Butt says the International Longshoremen's boycott of Soviet grain shipments is an attempt to ensure that domestic shipping gets a bigger share of the import-export business. Vice President Rockefeller has praised President Ford's recognition of what Rockefeller terms the urgent need to reform welfare and social programs so they don't harm the nation's economic strength. And lawyer Cliff Finch has won a victory in the gubernatorial runoff, Democratic gubernatorial runoff in Mississippi. 48-year-old Finch scored big gains in areas considered to be strongholds of his opponent, Lieutenant Governor William Winter. More than 30 police officers armed with tear gas, riot shields, and billy clubs freed 2 prison guards held hostage in St. Albans Correctional Center in Vermont. The inmates held the hostages, and they were reportedly intent on escaping to Canada. Jurors deliberating damages in the Kent State University shootings will resume their deliberations Wednesday. That's the news in brief. In depth at this hour, Agriculture Secretary Earl Butt says Labor leader George Meany is sincere in his grain boycott stance. However, Butt charges that other labor leaders are pushing the grain boycott in an attempt to get a bigger chunk of the import-export business for domestic shipping. The Russians have been sending their own ships or those of satellite nations to pick up the U.S. grain they've ordered. Butt says talk of higher food prices by the maritime unions is a pretext. Labor Chief Meany went to the White House Tuesday afternoon, summoned by President Ford to talk about the grain dispute. If the president jawboned Meany, it didn't work, judging by Meany's comments after the session.
We had a long, extended discussion with the president's representative this morning, and then a good, long discussion with the president this afternoon. No decisions were made. The situation has not changed in any respect whatsoever, except that we have a lot more information. And we expect to continue our discussions in the weeks ahead.
The boycott continues?
Yes, sir.
A federal judge in Texas says he will decide Wednesday whether or not to issue a permanent injunction against dock workers refusing to load that grain. More than 30 police officers armed with tear gas, riot shields, and billy clubs freed 2 prison guards who were held hostage for a time in the St. Albans Correctional Center in Vermont. Inmates were holding the hostages, reportedly intent on escaping to Canada. Officials say there were no injuries during the incident. Prison Superintendent John Whitcomb said the guards were seized by 4 inmates armed with makeshift weapons. An investigation is underway to determine exactly how many prisoners were involved. It is believed 4 prisoners were involved, and all face prosecution. Federal officials say the arrest of 2 people at the Miami International Airport has broken up a major heroin smuggling ring. 2 Los Angeles residents were taken into custody with heroin worth almost $7.5 million. The Democratic Party will decide tomorrow whether or not to choose New York or L.A. as its convention site. This is AP Radio News.
The first underground newspapers were written by folks like Tom Paine and Patrick Henry. And look where we've come in 200 years. Now there's the Bicentennial Times, not underground, right out front, to tell you everything you want to know about the bicentennial. To get the monthly Bicentennial Times, write ARBA, Box 1976, Washington, D.C. Write ARBA, Box 1976, Washington, D.C.
Speaking at the Conference of Lieutenant Governors in Alabama, Vice President Rockefeller says the federal social spending could soar to $300 billion a year by the end of the decade, and he praised President Ford for having what he said was the courage to hold down government spending to cut back the rate of inflation, and that the president recognizes the urgent need to reshape our welfare and social programs so they meet human need without undermining the nation's economic strength. Also appearing to speak at that conference was Alabama's George Wallace, who said he had something in common with Rockefeller.
We have something in common, Mr. Vice President, you and myself, in that I understand that some of the hierarchy of the party doesn't get along too well with you, and I can tell you that much of the hierarchy of the party doesn't get along with me, so we do have something in common.
And That's the news from the Associated Press Radio News Center in Washington. This is Dan Scanlon.
For your information, this is WIZR FM.